I'm Mark Wigmore, and I'm in the rock and roll bus of the Sheepdogs, and it's time to put bass player Ryan Gullen on the spot. Ryan, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
There he is. He's on the spot. And I'll start by asking this. You know, you've done very well. You've suddenly got a whole new batch of fans, probably in the last year, that maybe you didn't have before. A lot of exposure for you guys. What do you have? Has there been a certain fan or a certain person that you've met on this tour that you've been surprised to meet, or is there a certain kind of fan that's come up to you and you thought, "Holy smokes, what's going on here"?
Oh man, I don't know. I think probably the biggest thing for us is just like the diversity in which we meet fans, because our music is very like derivative of old music. We meet like older business people, and then we meet like really young kids, as young as 3 and 4 year olds that are really big fans of our music.
Yeah,
that one's really weird for me.
You guys have played in a lot of different places. Sometimes you hear about people, vans burning up. You hear about equipment being lost. You hear about crazy situations people have run into on the road. So if you can think of the quintessential road story so far, or the gig, or whatever it was.
Probably if you're talking about vans, we've probably had every issue there could be a van. But the craziest story we had is we were in Toronto. This is on our first tour, maybe second tour we ever went on. Our van got broken into just on Queen Street. Didn't lose anything except my iPod, and I had this captain's hat that I bought, and we lost that. So then about a month down the road, working back our way going west, we were driving from Saskatoon, and we started breaking down, and our van started spewing out, what is it?
Like the blue smoke, kind of.
Yeah, it was something. What was it? It was I'm trying to think. It wasn't brake fluid. Transmission fluid.
Transmission fluid.
So
something glowing.
Yeah, so it was the engine would start revving really high, and it got to the point we started where first we had. We got 100 kilometers and we had to put transmission fluid in, and it was 50 kilometers and we had to put transmission fluid in. And by the time we got to about Airdrie, around Calgary there, it was we had go into a store and buy every bottle of transmission fluid they have, and we would just be pulling over every 10 minutes, 5 minutes, filling it up. And so finally we got to Airdrie, and we were we have to do this. We got a friend to come pick us up in Airdrie. We put all our gear in a couple vehicles and drove it into Calgary, left our van in the Canadian Tire parking lot, thinking this is going to cost us so much money if we have to deal with fixing the transmission. And so we come back the next day after the gig, and our van is gone. And there's nothing but just glass all over the place. We're thinking, okay, well, obviously someone couldn't go anywhere with it. So I called the police, and sure enough, it had been broken into. And luckily, though, because it had been broken into just a month previous, it got written off. And so we actually ended up, due to our insurance, getting a rental van, a brand new van, for the remainder of the tour. And we didn't have to worry about not only fixing our van, but getting it back to Saskatchewan, because they just wrote it off, and somebody in Calgary dealt with it. So yeah, that was awesome, because we didn't have to deal with that. I mean, when you have no money trying to fix a transmission, it's crazy. And then we drove all the way to Victoria in this rental van, and in Victoria, that van got broken into. This is a week later, and towed, and we had to get it fixed. We got stuck on the island because they couldn't. It was a brand new van, and they didn't have the windows in stock, so we had to stay on the island and wait for them to send a window over from the mainland. So we got broken into 3 times in a matter of a month. And it actually ended up benefiting us the entire time. So the only time we had no gear stolen. I did lose my iPod, which sucked, but by no means did we have. They didn't hurt us. It actually helped us out, because we ended up getting money for the van because it got written off. We got a free rental vehicle for the whole tour. It was brand new, it was super nice, and so it was kind of lucky in some ways that we got broken into.
Did you ever see the captain's hat again?
I didn't. I've been looking for. I was looking for a homeless guy or something with the captain's hat, and listening to Sheepdogs demos or something like that around Toronto. Never did find that captain's hat. That's interesting. That'll lead to my next question. You mentioned Saskatoon and going out west. I mean, is there something, you obviously had to play that town for a long time? Am I right? Yeah.
Did you guys have a reputation then, and has it changed since then?
Well, I mean,
musically or otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, we've always kind of been the same band. When we started playing in the band, we didn't really, aside from Ewan, who played a little bit of guitar, and Lee had joined the band later, and he played in other bands. We'd never been in a band. I'd never played bass for Sam. I'd never played drums. So we kind of probably had a weird reputation, because we started this band that was never in bands, and so everyone who was in other bands didn't have any idea who we were. We just started playing shows, and I think we had a reputation of being an exciting live band to see in town. Things build slowly. I think probably the biggest change is that we used to just be known as these guys that go on the road. People would be like, oh, when are you guys gonna, decide to throw in the towel? You guys thinking about going back to school? Because, I mean, we go away, but we really have nothing to show for it. Now people are like, oh, yeah, no, I remember seeing you guys when you played at this place. I think the biggest change is that, I mean, people have always been really excited about us, but now, like, the whole thing has changed.
What's a hidden gem in Saskatoon that only Saskatoon people would know about? It could be a restaurant, it could be a bar, a place to hang out.
A hidden gem. There's a place called Crazy Cactus.
Right.
And it's in a strip mall in Saskatoon. And you don't go in there on weekends because it's kind of a weird, kind of young college crowd. If you go during the week, they have free popcorn and it's like free pool. And they have these gringo cervezas, which is beer with a shot of tequila and a lime juice in it. It's fantastic. It's a good place to go hang out, and it's a really weird crowd. That's definitely a hidden gem. I don't know. It's in a strip mall. It's like next to like a first aid store and like a lawyer's office. It's kind of in the middle of it.
I love it. I love the strip mall hidden gem.
Yeah.
All right. One of the things that has been fairly obvious reading various articles about you guys over the last few months is that you, despite all the success, despite the Rolling Stone cover and all that, you guys still have to work your butts off to make this all happen.
Yeah.
But that being said, there probably was this influx of attention and maybe, I'm guessing, money. So I'm wondering what the most extravagant thing was that you guys did as a band or you personally bought.
To be honest, like, we've been on the road since February, since this whole thing started. I've maybe been home a total of 2 weeks in the entire year, and so anything that I bought in this bit has to fit in the suitcase. So honestly, like, I can't. There's nothing extravagant. I mean,
What about a bottle of wine? What about?
Well, I guess I've gone out for like nice food. When we found out we were on the cover, we had to keep it a secret. We went and bought like an expensive steak dinner in New York, and we never ever. I mean, if someone takes us out, yeah, but we never ever do stuff. We eat like at delis and like grocery stores, and it was always like cut corners, especially in like New York. So it felt pretty good to go get like a $50 steak in New York.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but it was very highly recommended. It was kind of like a really old school place. Felt like you're in like Goodfellas or something like that.
Sure. All right. Thing you guys would not do again. You've been asked to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Various tours, appearances. What is it that you guys would say? No way, we're not doing that again.
I think Project Runway would be right up there. We didn't have a whole lot of choice in the matter in that.
Oh,
it was interesting. I have somewhat interested in how reality TV works, and so I thought it was interesting to be there. But it was kind of weird. I mean, it was a good thing that...
That's all right.
No, I think it was a cool thing that, being on Project Runway, because it did expose our music to a lot of people, but it was really weird for us. It was really out of our comfort zone. I think when it comes to stuff like that, we're okay with promoting the band. We don't want to have to go so far that we feel weird about it. I think it's like, we want to come. And I think, wanted to do things more honestly. The whole competition was cool. It was great exposure, but there was a lot of compromises we had to make, whether it was like, just kind of doing different things.
Now there was some hair stuff going on there, like a hair product.
Yeah.
Like, would you guys ever consider, maybe not hair product, but would you ever consider getting in that situation again, or is that off the table?
I think that's off the table. I mean, that was kind of something. They were sponsored. They were very good to us, and they worked, like, both with Project Runway, with Garnier, everyone worked very hard at making us feel comfortable. But I guess when you're involved in corporate kinds of things, that it kind of makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Sure.
Especially because we're not the kind of people that do anything during. I mean, I just had a shower. I'm doing an interview and I literally just got out of the shower, so like it doesn't really matter to me. I think that kind of stuff just made us feel a little bit uncomfortable. We rolled with it. They were all really good to us. They treated us very well. Nothing bad to say about them. I think in the future though, we'd like to do, just play rock and roll and tour around, play shows, and make albums. We like doing things on a simple level, not like that.